Hello my dear students, welcome back. Today I am here with the part 4 of the chapter Weather and Climate. Hope all of you have seen first, second and third part of this chapter. You have liked and understood. Don't forget to share your valuable feedback. Be focused and learn the rest condition of weather and climate. First I will talk about precipitation. Have you ever heard this term precipitation? If you have not heard, but you have definitely heard the term rainfall, snowfall, sleet, hail, this kind of different term. Yes, these all are different form of precipitation. So how this precipitation form, I will show you by the help of a diagram. See here, this is the earth surface. Here where we are living, the houses, okay. Here's other that this kind of trees are there, and some depressed zone also you can see, that where the water body, or we can say water body or water store, okay. This is water, this is plant, and this is house, okay. Here with the help of sun rays, the water, it happened basically with the increase of temperature, it becomes vapor, and then it rises up. When it is rising up, gradually it cools down, and by the process of condensation we can see this water, that gaseous form, it convert to the liquid form. Even if the temperature decreases again, then this liquid or this gas directly convert to the crystalline or solid form of water. This kind of that crystalline, that water and this gas liquid form, they present in that cloud. This cloud, they moves one place to another place. When they strike, they form large water droplets. Sometimes this water droplet become very heavy, and they can't that move in these air currents. Then they fall to that earth surface as the form of this precipitation. So what is the definition of precipitation? The definition of precipitation is that falling of condensed water, that is known as precipitation. From where? From sky to that earth surface. Here I have shown that the water produced, it is going that vapor. This is water vapor. Then it is forming the cloud, okay. Then this cloud, when it is condensing and then it is becoming more heavy droplets, it is coming back or falling as rainfall. Sometime I have said it can become that crystalline or solid form, that is the ice. So that time we actually said that as hail, or in local language gola. We know that? Yes. Even at the hilly areas, due to that less temperature, all the water basically it change or convert to that snow, and the precipitation there will be in the form of snowfall, okay. So these are that basically the process through the precipitation we receive. But how we can measure the precipitation? We can measure the precipitation by the use of that instrument that known as rain gauge. Rain gauge, okay. It is an instrument. It is having a cylinder. At that bottom of the cylinder there will be a vessel where the precipitation actually stored, and at the top there will be a funnel. Through that is stored in that vessel. It is funnel and it is vessel. Okay? And then how it actually collect the water? When there will be rainfall, we used to keep this rain gauge in that open surface. There should not be any kind of buildings. There should not be any kind of trees. Otherwise, we can't measure the proper amount of water. Then, through this funnel, this water will enter and will save in that vessel. Finally, after the day when the rainfall will stop, it used to pour in a measuring that cup or another tube where the measurement used to written, and it is written in centimeter. Okay, so this way we can measure the precipitation, but it is very easy to measure the rainwater. But when there will be snowfall, how we can measure? We have to collect first the snowfall, then when it turns into water, then we can measure. Okay, basically day wise the water precipitation we measure in millimeter, but annually we measure in centimeter. Is it clear, student? Do you know, students, how we can calculate mean annual rainfall or precipitation? You might have seen in the part 2 video, I have explained how we can calculate the mean temperature of the day, of the month, of the year. It's like same. If you want to calculate that mean monthly temperature, rainfall, you have to collect the data every day wise, 30 days data, and then you have to add and then you have to divide by 30. Means mean monthly precipitation. How? Same way, 30 days rainfall or any other precipitation we have to add, then we have to divide by 30. Okay, then we can get this mean monthly precipitation. If we want to know the annual precipitation, mean annual rainfall, same way, whatever mean that rainfall we are getting per month, that we have to add, and then we have to divide by 12 months. Okay, this is very easy, that I have given a data in your that second part so that you can calculate easily. Now student, here you have to know what is ISO height. ISO height. You have read isotherm, it is same. ISO mean equal height precipitation Okay, so here ISO height is an imaginary line which joins the places having same amount of rainfall or precipitation. Again I am telling, ISO heights are the lines, imaginary lines on the map which joins the places having same amount of precipitation. Is it clear, student? Yes. So this is known as ISO height. In the map we easily can see that which places are having same amount of rainfall. Now students, we have reached to the last part of this chapter, the last condition of weather and climate we are going to discuss. So stay with me and see. The last is cloud. you might have heard this term, and this is very that silly that everywhere we can see cloud in the sky. And you might have seen the sky it is having different colors different time. It is having how cloud is forming through that condensation process. Okay, so here we have to know the different types of cloud. Different types of cloud. First, the stratus. Stratus, this kind of cloud, flat shape, or even we can see like a sheet, and we can see below the height of 3 km from ground. Maximum precipitation this kind of cloud causes. Maximum precipitation, that nimbostratus, it is an example of this kind of stratus cloud. Number 2 is, so when you will see in the sky, you try to understand which kind of cloud it is. Next is cumulus. Cumulus, we can say within the height of 3 km to 6 km. Have you ever seen cauliflower? Yes, it is like cauliflower shape. Okay, so this kind of cumulus cloud, very rare, it causes precipitation, but sometimes the cumulus cloud can be very tall. It can reach 10 km of height from the ground. Giving an example like cumulonimbus. Cumulonimbus, it is an example of this cumulus cloud. Last type is that cirrus. Cirrus, this is higher that height, or we can say at a particular height above 6 km. 6 km, we can see this cirrus cloud. This is wispy, feathery. Okay, means like a feather kind of, very soft and wispy. This kind of cloud is known as cirrus cloud, and from this cloud we can't expect any kind of precipitation, and it is having maximum that the solid form of that water, which is crystalline form. Okay, so here this kind of rainfall we can't expect from this cloud. 3 types of cloud you have seen, but we will see in sky, we can see some part of the sky covered by cloud, sometimes full sky covered by cloud, sometimes very less. So how we can measure this cloud? By the use of octas. Octas mean 8. I am writing here. Octas mean 8s. Say Peter, this is sky. Okay, and it is dividing in 8 parts or multiple of 8. But how we can measure? Suppose we are taking a mirror, and there we are dividing 8 divisions or 16 or more than that, any kind of multiple of 8. Then how we can tell that how much percentage of this sky is covered by cloud? Suppose 6, it is, I am dividing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 part. Okay. When only this part will be covered, we will tell 1/8 part or 1/8 octus. 1 octus is covered by cloud. When it will covered by that, we will say 2 octus. Okay, that will be 1 octus, 2 octus. Here it will be 2/8 part. Then here it will be 3/8 part, 3 octus. Then here we will say 4/8 part, 4 octus. Then 5/8, 5 octus. 6/8, 6 octus. 7/8, 7 octus. And 8 mean fully covered. Okay. So here we are getting to see this is 25%. This is 50%. For one, that also 4/8 means 50%. Then here you are getting to see 75%. Then here 100% covered. Okay. According to that, we used to say when 8 octus will be covered by that cloud, it is known by that we can say that cloudy day. And when it will be clear, then clear sky. So how we can measure? I just have to say we can take a mirror, and that mirror how much part it is taking, according to that we have to measure that how much portion it is taking. Sometimes this mirror, when we are putting in that open, that also on the ground under open sky, there we are dividing into 16 division, multiple of 8, 16 divisions, and it is showing 6 part. So we have to divide by 16. 6/16 multiply 8. Here we have got 3, means 3 octus. Okay, is it clear? So sometime it can be 8, it can be 16, it can be 24, but whatever it will be, out of that how much portion it is covering by cloud, the shadow, it is reflecting on that mirror. From the sky it is reflecting on the mirror. So how much portion it is covering, how much part it is covering, that we have to put at the top below the total number of parts, and you have to convert into 8, that is octus, and then we can get the result. Okay, so this is that way we can easily understand how much part is covered by clouds. Students, now we have to know who used to give us this kind of information, how we can get to know. That is, there is a department, that meteorology. Do you know? Meteorology is the scientific study of weather conditions. Scientific study of weather conditions. Who used to study these scientific, basically scientists are known as meteorologists, and they everyday wise they provide us about that different weather condition, which is very essential for us. If the weather forecast will not be there, we will not be aware about any kind of disaster. Like right now, that the coastal areas people are suffering due to that super cyclone Amphan. If there is no that weather forecasting through that television, through that internet, through the radio, people will not be aware how much the devastation or the effect can be there. That's why the government of that area, the local government, shifted people from that disaster prone areas to other areas to save people's life. Otherwise, thousands, lakhs of people, they can also lose their life, their property. So here weather forecasting is very necessary. And how we can get this, basically a report? Through that the ship, then the balloons, and then the satellite. There India is having a satellite which is having the name INSAT. INSAT, which used for weather forecasting, telecommunication and broadcasting. Through that we easily can get the weather report, and these meteorologists, they help to understand about these weather conditions. Do you know, students, whenever one part of the earth or the world is having some kind of special weather conditions or special weather phenomena, due to that some disaster is happening, it can create the problems other part of the world after some days. It means whether it can create problem all over the world. That's why whenever the meteorologists, they collect the data, they collect all over the world's data. Then according to their area or locality, they forecast the weather report. Okay. So it is very important for us to know any of the areas weather report. So students, we have completed this chapter weather and climate. Hope you will see all the 4 parts of the video, and if you are having any kind of doubts, you can put in the comment box. Even if you liked and understood, don't forget to share your valuable feedback. Stay with me to know more information about other chapters. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.